Griffins Mills, New York is a hamlet in the town of Aurora in Erie County, New York, USA. It lies on the west branch of Cazenovia Creek in the area once known as West Aurora. Griffins Mills was founded in the early 19th century at the site of a mill. It is located in zip code 14,170. Griffins Mills was originally named Smith Rest Mills. Abram Smith and his son Humphrey in 1806 purchased this site along with two other sites along Cazenovia Creek, one in what is now West Falls, and another at the fork of the Cazenovia Creek. The Cazenovia Creek was named after Theophilis Cazenove, who was the first general agent for Wilhelm Willink Jr. of the Holland Land Company, who in 1798 became one of the largest landholders in western New York. In 1809, Humphrey Smith had dammed Cazenovia Creek and had established a mill at this location. Around the same time, Obadiah Griffin, who was married and had children in Dutchess County, New York during the Revolutionary War period, moved west and settled in Canada, near Welland, Ontario. He and his wife, Mary, requested membership in the nearby Pelham Quaker meeting in November 1803, and were accepted in March 1804. However, the War of 1812 prompted them to return to the United States. Obadiah and family, including sons Robert and James, left Canada during the height of the War of 1812, and sought to settle near his brother, Jonathan Griffin, in Oakhard Park. In fact, Obadiah and Mayor's Quaker membership was transferred to the local meeting by a certificate dated January the 18th, 1813. Upon their return to New York, Obadiah and his sons purchased the mill, ultimately giving their surname to the location, Griffins Mills. They successfully operated a sawmill, grist mill, carding mill, distillery and 4 asheries which produced potash and lye for soap making. Multiple flumes carried the water to various operations. Obadiah's wife died sometime prior to 1822, and in 1829 they sold the mills to Henry N. Hill, and by 1831 the Griffins divested themselves of their properties and moved west to Niles, Michigan. The mills then passed from Henry Hill to Joseph Jones and Israel Smith, Henry P. Darrow, William H. Wing, Ridley Cole, William Duell, Jabez Snarshell, and then acquired by Ferdinand Warnecke, who came from Germany. He operated the business until 1903, when he sold to his nephews, Theodore and Frank Yore. The Yore brothers, known throughout western New York, operated the business for 56 years. It was in 1959 that the business ceased to operate. Yore brothers were known for their accurate measurements in lumber sawing. Buckwheat flour was a specialty ground by the brothers. It was the only mill over a large area doing this type of grinding. The flour, eagerly bought for its excellent quality, was packaged in 5-, 10- and 25-pound sacks labeled with the Yore Brothers trademark. Both grist and sawmills were water-powered until in 1919, when a freak flood washed away the dam, and motors were installed to replace the large water wheel. The remodeled, original grist mill, then 137 years old, was destroyed by fire May 9, 1947. The sawmill was remodeled and utilized as a feed mill, and the business continued until April 1, 1959, when it was permanently closed. Theodore C. Yore died March 20, 1959, and Frank H. Yore, December 6, 1960. The mill structure in 1961 was donated to St. Paul's Lutheran Church on West Falls Road, and subsequently moved there for use as a Sunday school building. On August 18, 1810, the West Aurora Congregational Church was formed with 9 members under the influence of Father John Spencer, a wandering evangelist. Reverend Elias Harmon was the first pastor, and the 9 charter members were Benjamin Enos, Loren Enos, Seth McKay, Clement King, Mary King, Samuel Henshaw, Betsy Henshaw, Joshua Henshaw, and Elizabeth Henshaw. It became incorporated January 26, 1831, and the current Federalist-style church building was dedicated on August 17, 1832. A large 48-inch solid cast bronze bell for the steeple was purchased for no more than $250 in 1844. In January 1848, land was purchased adjacent to the church to build a session room and horse shed. Ties to the Presbyterian Church began as early as 1830, when Deacon Conklin was appointed as a delegate to the Buffalo Presbytery. On May 5, 1907, the church was reincorporated as Griffins Mills Presbyterian Church, and is still very active today.